All right, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is September 15th, 2020, halfway through September. Hope you are having a kick-ass month. Quick COVID update. Cases are down to 251 today. I guess would be technically yesterday as a reporting, a day behind. We're at 330 the day before. So if we do see a resurgence, which I think we're probably going to see, we could be experiencing a second lockdown. Who knows? But as this week progresses and next week happens, I think we'll have a pretty good idea of where we're going to be with regards to a shutdown. I predict there's going to be one, but I really hope there isn't. Today's video, I wanted to pop on and talk about Airbnb. New legislation being passed specifically in Toronto, and probably going to happen throughout Ontario, saying that you can only Airbnb your primary residence. What does this mean for Airbnb as an industry? It's over. People were buying investment real estate, as a means to basically have short-term rentals. And so if you're using your investment real estate as short-term rentals, as per the law in Toronto, it's illegal. You can't have people coming in and out. Really specifically, they were trying to crack down on condos because basically you buy a condo in the downtown area thinking that you're buying into a owner-occupied building, or mostly owner-occupied building, at least having people there even if they're renting for at least a year, and the condo next door or all around you could be new people every single day in and out, like a hotel. So Toronto said, no, enough's enough. And with COVID pushing through, it's going to create a tidal wave of, a tidal wave of these issues coming up now, where lawmakers are going to say, well, we don't think that the general public can govern themselves. We don't think that the general public is smart enough and capable enough to make decisions for their health, to make decisions for their investments. So what we are going to do is legislate what can happen. Now, with regards to Airbnb, if I was living in a condo building, let's say you spent, doesn't matter, 800 grand, 700 grand, 800 grand in a very nice condo building. You have a nice condo. And then you move in there, and a week from now, there's a new person walking in and out of, one or two of the condos on your floor every single day. New person. Now, this could have slowed down during COVID, but that's what was happening in Toronto. And so I think a lot of people said, you know what? I don't want to have a revolving door beside me. And while it's not my unit, it's my floor. They're all the same. Maybe they're loud. Maybe they're drinking. Maybe they're whatever the circumstances are. And so the government has stepped in and said, no, it's over. So what does this mean? Well, Airbnb is probably in the greater Toronto area not going to be around for much longer, because I don't think that many people are using their principal residence, and maybe they are. Maybe the basement or the upper floor is being Airbnb'd out. I don't know. But the investment model of Airbnb, which when you really break it down, the difference between having an Airbnb rental versus a normal rental, if you're in an area where there's a lot of short-term turnover, meaning people coming in for conferences or sporting events or whatever it is, you could potentially rent out a space, your condo, let's say, for $200 a night. And people will gladly pay it, because if they're going to pay $150 or $200 for a hotel room, they get the full amenities. And so, geez Louise, this guy beside me here with these brakes, holy smokes. I don't know if you heard that on camera, but so basically you'd have $200 a night. So if you're getting $2,000 a month, that's roughly 10 nights out of the 30 nights for the month. So if you rented it for more than 10 nights, let's say you rented for 15, you're up $1,000. So that $2,000 month rental, or like over the course of a year, turns into $3,000, possibly $4,000 a month. So interesting times when it's coming to this Airbnb stuff. And this is when talking with fellow investors, clients, people that have money to invest. That's why I'm saying pull out of this stuff, because the government has the ability to pass law and legislation to say that it is illegal to do so. And if it's in a shared space like a condo, it's not like you can skirt it. All people have to do is just see different people coming in every day. They call the city bylaw and go, hey, like, this is Airbnb or short-term rental. So listen, I can understand if I'm living in somewhere that is not a rental place and there's a revolving door beside me and it's different people, a different cast of characters every day. I can understand from that homeowner's perspective, they don't want that. I get that. That makes sense to me. But from an investment standpoint, let me tell you this. If you have an Airbnb specific condo in Toronto, number one, the rental market is wide open for long-term rentals, basically 6-month or 1-year rentals. So good luck renting that place for what you think you're going to get. Number two, if you can't afford to carry that property without it being an Airbnb, I would immediately list today. List it, and probably list it for 5 or 10% under market value just to get some eyeballs there. There is going to be a flood of listings coming to market. A flood. Thousands. Hundreds for sure, but probably thousands. It's going to disrupt the condo market in Toronto. If you're owner occupied, if it's a principal residence and you're thinking about making a move and you're thinking about getting out of Toronto, you're not buying another condo, sell it. Because we could probably see a fairly large decline, a very, very large softening in the Toronto real estate market. And quite frankly, if you have an investment property that is not a condo, that is a house, I think you're going to probably be okay. And this is extremely specific depending on location, size, how it's finished, the whole deal. But I think a lot more people are looking for houses in Toronto than specifically looking for condos. Specifically because a lot of these condos are like 1 bedroom. So the upside to this, because there's always an upside, is if you're looking at getting into the real estate market, this guy with his brakes, man. If you're looking to get into the real estate market, you're a first-time home buyer, you only have a certain amount of money to put up, this could be the time to get in, because the softening of the market is going to create a lot of opportunity for people like yourself, if that's who you are, to get into the marketplace. So if you're thinking about buying and a little concerned, this is a great time. You might actually want to sit on the sidelines for another couple weeks or a month and just sort of see what happens, because the market's not going to go up. If anything, it could go down further than what I project it's going to go down. Now, is it going to go down 5%, 10% or more? Maybe. That's a possibility. That nobody knows, and I'm not here to make a prediction to say I think it's going to go down 15 or 20%. That's just stupidity if someone does that. So Airbnb taking a huge chunk out of the Toronto real estate market. It's partly what caused a lot of new developments to sell out, and it's now what's probably not going to tank the Toronto real estate market, but it's going to put a sizable dent in an overall fairly healthy, fairly strong market. Stay tuned and watch that market. I think it's something to pay attention to, and depending on what happens in Toronto with this, we could see a massive fallout in other places that are heavily invested in Airbnb specific buildings. So that's it. I hope everybody's having a great day. We'll catch up with you real soon. If you have any questions, any comments, you're thinking about making a move and not really sure what to do, the market is just stupid right now, specifically outside of Toronto, but Toronto's nuts too. But I mean, it's crazy. if you're thinking about selling, you have to have a plan in place of where you're going, because right now the average is 2 to 3 offers plus, on most listings, and some listings are getting like 15 and 20. Prices, there's stories out of Hamilton now. You can see it. I think in the CBC wrote up an article on it. They priced it fairly well. They were a little bit below market value, but not by much, and it ended up going like $105,000 over market value. So, and really, what's market value today, right? If prices are all over the place. Point is if you're thinking about moving, you gotta have a rock solid plan in place, because you could be caught with nowhere to go. So if you're thinking about making a move, hit me up with that. If you're thinking about renovations, gfcon.ca, gfcon.ca. We're completing some really neat projects. We've got some new ones starting, and we can fit your project in if you're thinking about doing a renovation. We do large-scale interior renovations. Main floors, basements, second floors, bathrooms, kitchens, anything you do inside. We are the indoor renovation specialists. So gfcon.ca, check us out. Shoot me an email, DM me, message me, text, whatever you got. I would love to chat. All right, that's it. Hope everybody's having a great day. We'll chat soon.